See if that works. Yeah, that looks good. Audio looks good. I guess I have the in-game audio off, so I guess I can tweak that real quick. Probably boost this a little bit, just a bit. That's probably better. Speak loudly. Folks, welcome back. As always, I'm Fritz, and we're playing some more Magic. So specifically, we're playing this week's Midweek Magic Historic Artisan. Now, funny story, I had a deck that already was ready for this format. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll just play that one, because all my other deck slots are filled with Historic Brawl decks, which you might have noticed if you've been around on this channel for a bit. So I just queued up, I made this deck, and I won it, and then afterwards I was like, huh, a lot of these decks I'm seeing don't feel like the decks that I saw the last time there was this event, and I checked, and what I realized is this is not a historic artisan deck. This is a historic pauper deck. There are no uncommons in this. The deck list is attached to the video, by the way, if you want to see it. It's down into there. So I have this entire deck list that isn't dependent on any uncommon cards. You can craft this entire thing with just common wild cards if for some reason you wanted. I'm going to jump into a game. I've already finished out my midweek Magic for the week, so I'm just going to play a few games, get back in the swing of things. It's been a long time since I've streamed any Magic. So it might start up being more of a regular thing again. It might not. We'll have to see. I am working on some other little videos, some other little projects. So this is not a great opening hand, but I'm going to keep it. So I'm hopeful that this will be like a funny little thing that I can show off, as opposed to once I get stream cursed, and now that I've turned on the stream, I'm never going to win another game again. So this is effectively a self-mill deck. Our main sort of win con is getting a bunch of cheap creatures out off of Ambitious Dragonborn. But our goal is basically we're going to mill ourselves out, and we're going to have enough life to just sort of outlast the person we're playing against. I'm going to toss a swamp. Let's do that. Let's just go in and see what they do. All right. I'm going to do Setessan Training, actually, because I suspect they're about to draw. Yeah, so our main goal most of the time, if we're lucky, they'll blow this up. Our main goal most of the time is to play Ambitious Dragonborn on, like, turn 4 or 5 as a 10-10, which is, you know, pretty good. It's especially in a format with very limited removal and other options. Now, that does rely on having a land, so I should have probably discarded this, but oh, we'll get it. So we're just going to drop that, and they can have fun figuring out how they want to deal with that in the near to immediate future. Because so this is actually, like I said, this is a pauper deck, but it's worked pretty well. I actually don't know what the deck that I'm playing against here is. I'm assuming it's some sort of combo-y list. But basically the goal of this deck is we play Rust Goliath. When Rust Goliath dies, it's now going to count as a 10-10 for the purposes of all of this other stuff. After which, from there on out, Ambitious Dragonborn's got to be a 10-10. And we can just run them down mid, basically. So what they're going to do is... Yep. Now, is there an easy way to get around that? Yeah, I'll just use my Infuse with Vitality. If I do this, what are you going to do? Hoarding Recluse isn't here because it just deals with a lot of threats. Reach lets it block sort of small flyers. Death Touch lets it, you know, kill big threats. And at the same time, it also sort of has a form of pseudo graveyard hate and recursion if I mill myself out too much. So that's why it's in the list. It's just a very valuable sort of little mid-rangey sort of tool. And it can also hit, like, if there's stuff I need to take out of their graveyard, it also makes it quite possible. Surprised they didn't do that differently, but... And so the other thing this has, we haven't seen it yet, is I've got a couple flashback cards that exist to sort of just stall me out for time. I'm going to toss that. Let's see. Greater Tanuki. Keep choosing to throw away lands when I probably should not have done that. That's tapped down, so let's target you, and let's target you. But yeah, so it's a fun little deck, and I think it's just really funny that it's capable of doing pretty decently into a lot of opponents. This one I think is going to be tricky because if they're smart, presumably they included some creature removal, but they can actually just chain chump me with Occult Anvil here, which I'm hoping they don't figure out that they can do. There we go. There's the Candy Grapple. Okay, so they must have a second Candy Grapple then. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, if they want to spend that many resources just trying to get rid of one of my dudes. All right, and now I'm just going to play the Greater Tanuki. Tanuki is in here because, again, it's a decent body, but since it has channel, I can discard it to be another target for the Ambitious Dragonborn. At the same time, it also can be land acceleration. It can just do a lot. Now, we have seen 2 Candy Grapples and 2 Virus Beetles, so I'm hoping that at some point they're going to run out of juice, but I don't think that's actually likely to happen. Do I go in here? I deal 4 damage to him. Does he have anything? How did he lose life? Oh, from exploiting off a Fell Stinger. I think I go in because I'm not going to get a better opportunity. And I may as well just deal the 4 damage to him. Probably might have made sense to just play the land, but we'll see. Because there have been some really cool little decks I've seen in this. This one I think is just meant to sort of outvalue me and swarm the board. And now that I've actually traded the Tanuki out, that might happen. But it does mean that, well, it doesn't. The thing that I'm surprised this person hasn't been doing is just sort of chain cycling with Occult Anvil. So, yeah. Because you just do that, right? Triggers only once each turn. Blood token, blood token. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna... There we go. There's my Knot of the Bone. So Knot of the Bone is just kind of a fantastic card. Specifically, there's a lot of really aggro red decks in this, and the fact that it flashbacks means that if I mill it with one of the other mill cards, I can still cast it, and it's just going to scale really well. It might not be the best card for like actual Artisan, but it was fantastic for Pauper. So it's just this right now is 24 life for 6 mana, basically. Which is, you know, that's a pretty good deal in my mind. Right now it looks like they're just gonna try to chip me down though, which will probably work if I'm being honest. Sack it. It's XX or X is twice the number of blood tokens. So they could just get rid of the Hoarding Recluse. And if they do, I'll Knot of the Bone. The one downside to this deck is it does not have a huge amount of draw. It's reliant on milling itself and getting tapping on the window in order to actually do a bunch of stuff. All right, let's just toss you out. And let's toss you in. Your graveyard. There's not anything I really want to... Is there anything in their graveyard that looks like they're going to recurse it somehow? We haven't seen any of that. I'm just going to put back... I'm going to put back my Setessan Training. I think, unfortunately, I've used 1 copy. So I think I have 1 or 2 more of those. But I think this is just a really fun deck. So if you don't have any uncommon wild cards or something, you could probably just go and build this. You could probably do it a little bit differently or upgrade it even, because, you know, you'd be willing to use uncommons in it. But it does very well. Like, surprisingly better than you'd expect. The one problem I will say is like what it does right now, which is where it's sort of stalled out a little bit. But I have a lot of time to work with. I have 28 worth life. So it's going to be quite a while. They're just holding the anvil. There's the Circle of the Land Druid, so let's play that out. There's no reason to go in. And the reason we're milling ourselves is we want to see... We didn't find any of it, but that's fine, because none of those were going to we want. What we want to do is go find Tapping at the Window, because the end game bomb is we play that... Let's see, I think I have him in the graveyard. This guy's the end bomb. If somehow we get out to 10 mana, we just play this guy as a 10-10 trampler, and we just run him into the face. Okay, so Etchings is actually a problem, because Etchings is going to prevent Circle of the Land from going to the graveyard. Okay. Oh, I should have full controlled. Yeah, okay, I missed 14 life there. That's quite bad, actually. I'm surprised it didn't... I must have just hit resolve too fast. I felt like its trigger should have gone on the stack, though. Now, the downside here is that I think that they will probably realize they can just go wide and have it work out. But, oh, hey, Undercity Uprising. So, let's get rid of... Let's get rid of you. Become clear wide in just a second. Now let's go to combat. So I need him gone because right now, if Circle of the Land dies, it'll just get exiled. And if it just gets exiled, it is not going to give me a card back, which is one thing I would like. Because I can go and grab back this Riveteers Overlook. And with the Riveteers Overlook, I can then go and next to damage. Yep, that's fine. With the Riveteers Overlook, I can shuffle my deck and try to get some stuff back around. All right, let's go grab those. Let's go grab... I have a Tocasias in here, which would be nice at some point. Also, so now this is almost 20 life. Let's go grab the last Swamp Out. But yeah, this is just... We can just stall them out for a while. The downside is that that is only 20 life, so I only have like five turns. Hit for 2, hit for 4, 5, 6. Got 4 or 5 turns, which is not a huge amount of time, but if I draw a land in that, I'm set. Or if I draw Knocking at the Door and get a big creature. Yeah, yep. I got that you know, that good avatar. I wonder if I should play this on one of his creatures just to draw a card. I will if it looks like I'm not going to get anything this turn, but all right, we are going to have to do this now. It's a very good card. How goes it, buddy? What are you up to? A tramway station. And another land. Let's see how this goes. Is they're going to get... I guess they're going to get more than I thought each turn. They're going to be... There we go. Okay, so tapping at the window, mills 3, and then we go get to hopefully get a creature. I'm going to get... I'm going to get the Rust Goliath. I'm not going to play it again yet. So right now I'm at 8. Let's mill 3 again, because we'll have 3 more mana. Circle of the Land Druid. Okay, and there we go. So now we've got a second Gnaw to the Bone, right? Now we circle the Land Druid. We are going to mill 4, because I want to try to get more. There we go. Now we've got 2. Okay, so now I gain 26 life for 3 mana, and I can do that 2 times. So we have a lot of time to work with from a general standpoint. Yep, he's going to kill Circle of the Land Druid. Oh, it's not going to trigger, though. That's a shame. It doesn't matter a huge amount, though, I think, because I think I'm still going to be able to just sort of out... What am I at? 20? This is going to be the last time I think I mill this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Next. And turn. So now he's not going to be able to kill me off life. Usual same thing for the next year. Understandable. Understandable. Is the new printer is working well, right? So now I need to kill the etchings. Actually, I don't need to take. I just no blocks. I just take 6. All right. Now let's do one of these here. And go back up to 35 life. And what I need is actually, okay, there we go. There's a land. That's perfect, actually. And let's do this. No, let's not. Let's hold that. Let's surveil for 1. That's fine. We'll leave that there. Now, the real question here is, do we have enough 1 hoarding spider, 2 hoarding spiders, 3 hoarding spiders? So the 4th one in exile, it's not. Okay, so now we're going to need to start trying to chain hoarding spiders together in a little bit, but we'll get to that in a moment. We'll just do no blocks for right now. Pass to damage. Resolve. They're going to exploit for 2. Oh, they're going to make themselves lose 2 life instead of making me lose 2 life and get 2 cards. Okay, now that will help them accelerate this quite a bit, actually. That could be bad. Let's do the Overlook. The reason I'm not super concerned so far, and I think I still have a pretty decent chance to win this, is that, oh, that's going to just wipe my dude out. That stinks. Let's go grab a forest. Is that I haven't seen them play any hard removal yet, which is a little surprising. Also because I can get another 28 life for 3 mana. That's also a contributor here. How many Knot of the Bones do I have left? I have 1 left, so I have 1 Knot of the Bone left. So I've got another potentially 50 life in my deck. And then I think I have another few Dragonborns as well. Let's surveil. What we got? Yep, we're going to leave that there. So a lot of damage you got there, buddy. I'm just going to do this back. All right, so now we are mostly hoping that they don't have hard removal. We haven't seen any yet, but I mean, they're black-red. It would be very surprising to me if they aren't running any true hard removal. But alternately, we're going to see if we can mill ourselves out before anything happens. The Fellstinger I can't block. The Mayhem Devils I can, the Etching I can, and the other guys I can, so. We'll see what they choose to do. I still think, so I've got, it mostly depends what I draw here. They can do a lot of damage to me each turn. They're doing a flat 4, and then they can just throw the rest of their stuff at me, which they will do if they're just thinking about this particularly logically, right? Because they don't know about the other Knot of the Bone. No blocks, I'll just take 3. Tapping up the window. I don't really want... No, I can do this. I need to get rid of the Etching. Okay, except I did hit one of the cards that I needed. Let's do that. And now... Let's throw you in. If I get rid of the etchings, then I can still sort of... Alright, so the etching is the big one to remove. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so etching and blood teeth. And everybody else is just a bonus. And they take 1. And now we're just going to play Setessan Training on this guy. Ooh. Nope, not yet. If I played the Setessan Training earlier, I should have. I might have won the game if I did that. Yeah, that was a big misplay. How many Rust Goliaths am I missing? How many have I used? 1, 2, 3. There might be a 4th one left. They're really pushing for it. Alright, so they're going to get 5 damage a turn. 8 damage a turn. So I have... Ooh. Alright, let's... 2, 3, 4... Let's make him do it. If I have one more Rust Goliath, that was a pretty big misplay. I should have played the Setessan first, but I forgot that Infuse with Vitality was something I even had access to. So it's been a long game. It's been a grueling game. Let's see. They're just gonna draw. They're gonna get the sack. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Gonna get a card. Yeah, they're really trying to slow me down. The issue is that right now, I'm not quite strong enough. All right. Let's see if they're going to do it. I'm going to wait until the last feasible moment. Yep, now they're just going for face. Oh, oops. Yep, I misplayed. I forgot that that was target creature and not the artifact. So since it has Death Touch, let's see, what do we get? Arboreal Grazer. Not really what we wanted. I've got 6 left. Well, let's see what we got first. I... Alright, as long as I don't hit both of my creatures here, which I didn't. I got the Greater Tanuki. And turn. And I think I have one more spider, so I think I still can probably clutch this out. Resolve, 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 resolve. Okay, even more damage. Oops. I'm going to fight for every inch of this. I'm going to make them have to fight for this. Now, as long as the spider isn't the exact last card in my deck, which it's looking like it's going to be. Oh, that does not help me here. Arboreal Grazer. Am I out of spiders? If I'm out of spiders, then this is just dragging it out to the very end. I wanted to go see if there were any other, like, there's not a lot of green-black familiar opponent cards, which I think is unfortunate. Alright. Infuse with Vitality. Oh, I just messed up. That's game. Who else can spot why? Okay, so like 3 or 4 misplays, but I think I could have won that if I had been a little smarter. Because now they just use the Onicult. They have to sack the other Onicult, though. Yeah, it does make a difference. But yeah, so hopefully that shows off why this deck is so much fun to play. I'm going to do a few more games with it, and hopefully actually, until I get like a good win. And then I'm going to call it a night. But if it wasn't for those 3 or 4 misplays, I think I definitely could have won that one. So that's basically the deck in a nutshell. Fill your graveyard, get a bunch of big creatures out, swing them into kill. I might go see if there's any... What I really want is some form of like semi-recursive card that gives trample. And I think Wilds of Eldraine might have one of those. I'm going to check. Having like 1 or 2 copies of that instead of what we got. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Yeah, this is a very good hand. I'll keep this. So we're going to do Arboreal Grazer, play the Jungle Hollow early, and then we're going to do tapping at the window. So the other reason the Arboreal Grazer is great is that we didn't really see it in that last matchup, but this format had a lot of like little sort of like red deck wins-y sorts of stuff. Let's just do the tapping. Circle of Land. And Arboreal Grazer does a great job of just being a chunk blocker into a bunch of those little like 1/1s, 2/2s, or at least forcing them. Is this... Oh, I love this. Okay, I might be about to get hosed here, but that's great. This is I think this is Shrines. I think this is all uncommon Shrines. Okay, there we go. We got a no attacks, but we got a Knot of the Bone. So next turn we can, and we got something that we can use to pump the Dragonborn. That can't possibly be worth it though, because these are all legendaries. It's the number of shrines you control. All right, my turn. I'm just actually going to try to see if I can throw face and force them to deal with these first. Because what I don't want is to play the Ambitious Dragonborn and immediately have them just discard 2 lands to double zap me. But I like it. I like it. This is funny. This I enjoy. Maybe I just play the Ambitious Dragonborn next turn. I think I do. Actually, let's do combat first. Now let's do the Ambitious Dragonborn. If this is like a super control-y list, this could be a problem. I do appreciate that they're running, there we go, Sanctum of Stone Waters. All right, but unfortunately for you, buddy, I now have Infuse with Vitality. So when you do the thing you're about to do next turn, it is not going to go as well as you think. if you do discard a card. Now, I think what they're going to try to do is Sanctum to just... I wouldn't have thrown away a land there. I guess they're just digging for life. I won't have lethal. And if they're clever, deal 4 damage to me, but that's need more than that. All right, next to combat. Let's pop that. And let's just throw you out because I want to have more bodies on the more bodies on the board to try to mess with them. They might be able to just outrun me though. If I can't keep throwing things in fast enough. And they might have enough land. So they have 2 5-pangs. Now you can use both of your 5-pangs, but you've got to use them now, because if you don't... Alright, let's go grab back a swamp. And I still get Death Touch. You don't have any more untapped creatures. It's just going to die to that. Let's grab that. Oh, and I already played a land for the turn. I wonder if I can try to... What's my Gnaw at right now? Only 4? That should not have been a May Rider. That should have been a must. If you're playing Shrines, you should mill yourself out. Yeah, I don't think that I can do enough to run through. Ah, well. All right, we're gonna keep going. I think I got stream cursed. I got hit with the old once it's up, you're never gonna get a win again. Alternately, everybody has actually had 3 days to figure out the format, and so this deck doesn't work as well as it used to. It would help, though, if I drew any of my removal spells for some of these. Let's just give it another shot, though. Give it another shot. And that was a good opening hand last time. I did just lose that deck. All right, what do we got? Knot of the Bone. This is a pretty bad opening hand. I'm going to mull again. This is not terrible. I do need to draw a land. Never mind, this is terrible because we're playing into the aggro lists. Thank you, game. Very cool. And let's see if we can go get a forest. And now we're going to see, yep, play with fire. Yep, and then they're just going to punch me. Doop, doop. And I'm going to continue to be capable of drawing the actual cards I need. But so this is actually one of those cards that does really... So this is where, for example, the Arboreal Grazer is really good most of the time, right? Because so 1/2, they still have to commit to bolting you, which is 1 card, and then pumping this to get it. This is just sort of the standard red deck. I think this one... No, it's not Pauper. It's it's running the Swift Spear. Yep, skewer the critics. 1, 2. So I might just lose. Do I lose next turn? Yes, I probably do. Yeah, if they play anything that does any damage to me, I basically lose. And Knot of the Bone is too late. It's also only for a 1. Yeah. Searing Blood. Doesn't do anything for me, but let's go grab that back. Yep. What's annoying is that's usually the deck I can actually do very well against. It's quite, that's actually a very good matchup most of the time, just because of all the small things. But the fact that I didn't get any Grazers or any of the other, I didn't get any Grazers, I didn't get any Land Druids, I didn't get any non-basic lands. You'd think that with 8 forests and 8 swamps, you'd get forests and swamps and not the toggle search, but, you know. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Not perfect, but let's try this one. So I can overlook and go grab. I can overlook for the forest. I should probably tapping at the window turn too, because I don't really need. I don't have another land to accelerate into the Hoarding Recluse with. So this is black. Is this going to be the black-red artifacts we saw again? If we see Virus Beetle, that's probably what it is. No, this is a new one. It might, and it could still be black-red artifacts. Change of plans just because it lets me get this out 1 turn early. I am going to do that. And go grab another forest. I don't think this is black-red artifacts. This is just... It's very interesting they chose to play the Bladed Battle Fan, because I don't know what this list is based off looking at it yet. And it feels like a lot of the value from Bladed Battle Fan. Is this Affinity? Is this mono black Affinity? That could make sense. That might be it. That might be what we're looking at. Let's do tapping at the window first, and then circle the Land Druid. But that would make sense. If it's mono black Affinity, then playing the Battle Fan suddenly is actually a good call, just to start building the affinity for the big chunky mirror. Let's gab. I'm actually going. Yeah, I am going to take that in this matchup, and then let's do circle of the Land Druid. And we're going to mill some more. All right. No attacks. Looks like they're just mana screwed, though. Are they going to flash in another fan? No, they're just going to... Alright. I don't have anything that I need to immediately play at 5, so I'm going to grab the Overlook. I could play the Grazer, but I'm going to play the Recluse instead. No, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do Hoarding Recluse this turn and force a response. And next turn we'll do the Goliath, and next turn we'll do the Dragonborn. So this might just be black, like tons of, yeah, just tons of removal. Is there anything in my graveyard that needs to go back on the bottom of my deck? I'm gonna put the Overwhelming Remorse back. Doesn't do anything, I can't recurse it. May as well just put it there and keep on going. Keep it rolling. They got their last land, which is not good. When it dies, yeah. Whenever that happens. Alright, let's play the Rust Goliath. No attacks. So the Rust Goliath is probably going to get blitzed. I'm not sure with what, though. Yeah. Okay, so this is just... I think I'm hopeful I can win this matchup. I keep saying I can win these, and then I keep losing. So, clearly, no blocks. Clearly, I'm not doing as well as I would like to. Let's just toss out you. We're going to actually toss these out as well. I don't have any way to get land advantage. So we're just going to put them all out there, and I can use them as chump blockers. And now they're going to have to figure out how to deal with the 10-10. And hopefully they've used all their removals, since they've used 3 of those so far. But it also looks like they might just be a removal-based list. All right, I'm just going to block that. So if they probably have something that gives stuff death touch, right? I think I'm still going to go for it. Like, I'm not going to stop. I don't think the format is so constrained that they would actually play one of the... Let's go grab another Rust Goliath. And turn. We have 40 life off Gnaw to the Bone right now. Golem ETBs, the ring tempts you. Sack to do stuff. Oh, when Golem leaves, the ring tempts you. Double block. Hoarding Recluse. Hoarding Recluse. Hoarding Recluse. Do-do-do-do. 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 I don't know why I'm suddenly thinking of that. So that's 12 life. That's 12, 12, 24. So we got 36 life that we can pump out. Sack another creature, return him to your hand. Yep, makes sense. Do they have another way to tempt with the ring other than Golem? I don't think they do. They're probably going to sack the token to get what I can. Let's see how they do this. Because if they mess up, I can trade Hoarding Recluse into something in order to just put Golem back on the bottom of their deck. Is their deck more than 60 cards? What? Hold up. Hold up. What is this list? Something weird is going on here, and I need to know. I crave the information. Why are they playing in a 145 card deck? I've got to know why they're doing this. Also, I'm surprised they didn't sack the Etched Familiar. What am I missing? Why would you play 145 cards? These are all clerics. If they played... Is it mill? Is it some... I'm so confused. Let's just chump that. Gnaw to the Bone for the first 14. Setessan Training. Pump that guy up. Swing on in. Why are they playing 145 cards? If anybody has any ideas, just try all the cards and filter out what seems bad. That'd be a bold strategy. Like, I feel like if you did that, every card in the set would feel kind of bad. Let's mill. I feel like... Why, though? Is there some... Also, how did they get 2 copies of Acolyte of Alcatraz if they're running 145 cards? It's kind of lucky. Oh, okay, that gains death touch until I have to turn. Don't like that. Did they just put all of... Also, they got 2 copies of their Final Flourish? Like, what is... There aren't any cards that scale with deck size, right? Or did they just get milled by somebody and they're like, I'm never going to let this happen again? Milling is wrong and it must stop. That's wild. I want to know what's going on so badly. Surprised they didn't put it on the tabby, but their own, I guess. All right, dig site. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more. All right. I mean, I'm just gonna force them to trade. Well, is that worth it? I think it is. Why such a big deck though? Okay, after this if I win, this is going to be the last game we pull out for tonight. But then I want to go look up why. I'm going to go look at all the commons and uncommons and try to figure out. So they're playing mono black. So at least we can narrow it down to whatever they're doing this for. It is probably a mono black card. It's a mono black card or an artifact. And is there anything else? Is there anything else this gives us to work with? Scry. We'll probably scry. Pass 2 attackers. Nine copies of the Nazgul, sure, but that still doesn't explain the other billion cards in their deck. All right, let's scry. Bottom of the deck. Wait, that was a force. That was what we needed. Oops. I need to know. Sorry, my nose is... It's that wonderful time of year in New England when it's just slightly too... There we go. Let's grab you. Let's toss you out. And I am going to mill 4. I hope I don't mill myself out again, but, you know, it could happen. What could possibly be their plan? They're not playing red, so it can't be 7 dwarves. We see that they played the Nazgul. Did they just put all of their cards into a deck? That's fine. I now go get my land back. Let's go get a forest. I want to know. Is it something to do with milling themselves aggressively? Like, or is it something to do with the ring? It's the fact that they have to mill themselves with the ring for the strategy to work? If anyone has any ideas, just give me a guess. I gotta hear it. I gotta know why this person has 39 cards. Why 150? Okay, so let's see. So maybe it's something to do with the number. 13. 160 cards? Did they just... Alright, Surveil. Done. Forest. Rust Goliath. Cross our fingers that they don't pull a... So right now they actually do have enough to block and live a turn, unfortunately. We're just going to cross our fingers they didn't pull exactly what they need to just live. Yep, when they deal the combat damage... Nazgul blocks 3, which leaves 7. The Acolyte blocks 4. How many? There's another. Okay, so there's another Rust Golem. So let's just take the bait. They can't just jump with the Nazgul. They have to jump with Nazgul and the Acolyte. Yep, that makes sense. All of them. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's fine. Next to damage. Now we play the second Rust Goliath. Maybe they just like these cards. So far, it looks like is it all? It looks like they thought the format was you put all the cards you own into one deck. That's going to be 3 that blocks. Yes, game. All right. I need to go figure out. Stick around, because that's probably going to be the last game for right now for tonight. But I want to go figure out what on earth this person's game plan was. All right. Yeah. Edit decks. Mono black and artifacts. Any number? No, I want black. I don't think it was Rat Colony. I don't think it was Corrupt. That doesn't make any sense. Let's make sure I have not collected on, because there's probably some cards that like Shadowborn Apostle would make sense to me, but we didn't see any Shadowborn Apostles, so it doesn't make sense that it's that. Nope. I want to know what their deck is. I gotta. I'm so confused. What was the plan? Like, there wasn't. Were they doing? Was it somebody else doing like a challenge, or was like that another streamer, or somebody trying to like? I'm gonna be confused forever. What that person meant, what that person wanted. Well, that's gonna be the stream for today, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna be doing more Magic again and stuff, doing more weird little streams. Till next time, take care, and I will see you then. As I awkwardly look for photo mode to actually end the stream. I think it's this one.